Terrifier 3, the follow up to Terrifier 2, the Damien Leone film. And if you're a fan of Art the Clown, guess what? He's back, and he's doing just as many brutal kills, if not more brutal in some ways. I don't know if any of them exactly top that one kill in the second movie, Terrifier 2. But what this movie does is it does expand on like the kind of lore that he's setting up, how it's like kind of involving, just say, demonic energies and our spirits, or if you want to say demons, then it's pretty much that. But this isn't going to be spoilers, so it's going to be a real quick review. But there's a ton of kills. You get to see Art a lot, and they bring back Sienna, so that storyline is still going on, and like that's going to be, it seems to be the main focal point of, well, the Terrifier series right now, and the lore that he's establishing. And I kind of like where he's going with it. It's different. Because the budget's a little bit bigger, maybe he got to do a lot more kills, because I feel like there's a lot more kills in this. Like, Art doesn't mess around. Like, I mean, he doesn't mess around to begin with, but he gets to do it a lot more. Like, there's a lot of brutal shit that happens. But what I really liked is how they expanded on the lore, like how the character, just both of them, Sienna and Art, they're dealing with the aftermath. Or, well, Sienna is. Art's just doing the killer clown thing. The thing that I would say doesn't really work for me in this is because it's set in Christmas time. So when you got the killer clown mask thing going on, but he's dressed in a Santa suit and he's covered in blood, it doesn't work as well as when you're in Halloween. You can kind of get away with it when it's Halloween, and that's kind of the point of like horror movies during Halloween time, because you kind of just blend in. It's like, oh, a guy covered in blood, who cares? And this one, it's like, does nobody see this guy or whatever? Nobody's paying attention to that. So, but whatever, it's a horror movie. I look past stuff like that on horror movies, because horror movies is probably my favorite genre, besides maybe good fantasy. But I haven't really seen good fantasy since like Lord of the Rings or something. So with this, like I said, Art's back. All the kills they're brutal. I'm not gonna spoil anything of what all happens. But the one thing I'd noticed, or well, not the one thing, another thing I noticed that I'm missing from this one was like that 80s synth pop, that dark wave pop music that they had in the second one that kind of brings you in at the beginning. It's like you just want to nod your head to that music. I didn't feel like they had any of that in this, so I didn't really care for the soundtrack. I don't know if maybe because the movie blew up and bands didn't want to work with it because they don't want their stuff attached to this, so they had to do their own thing. So, other than that, though, I would definitely recommend going to see this movie if you're a fan of horror, and it is gruesome. So, I wouldn't say that it's quite gore porn. You know, some people just go overboard with it. But if you've seen other stuff in this franchise, if you've seen the first one, the second one, even if you've seen Hollow's Eve, it's where like he kind of got his start. It's not. I don't think it'll surprise anybody, and I don't think any of it is. It's nothing as crazy as the second one, where the second one does that really over the top kill where he just keeps coming back, and it almost becomes comical because of how crazy it is. You're just like, okay, man, like we get it, she's dead. But this one didn't quite have that, but it had more lore building, and I'm curious to where he's going to go with it. I'm glad that he got a bigger budget, because I think Terrifier 2, the ROI on it, $250,000, I believe, was the budget for the second one. So this third one, from what I understand, is close to $2 million. So it's almost 10 times the budget. I don't know if I saw 10 times the budget worth compared to the second one, but there's definitely more places they go to. There's more exploring. There's more lore building. Like the effect, I don't really feel there was like a lot of CGI effects. Like it's all practical. Most of it seems all practical for the most part. There might be a little extra touch-ups and stuff post or whatever, but other than that, I enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun. I'm probably gonna go catch it again because I like supporting like indie style movies, especially good indie horror movies. Art seems to be becoming like a horror icon. We need like more new ones instead of Freddy, Jason, stuff like that. Like, all right, we've seen 7, 8, 10 movies of those guys. Let's give this guy a run. And so far, he's up to the third one. I think it's gonna do really well. The projections, I believe, is either 15 to 18 million for the first weekend alone. So I could see it hitting maybe 25 million because I see people being turned off by just the premise of it. Just because it's not just a typical slasher, it's like overly brutal. So if you're into that and you like the first two, I believe you will like this one. You might miss like the music, like I did. I kind of missed the music. Kind of felt, I don't know, it just felt right for this kind of movie. This one I didn't feel it in that as far as that goes, but the story that they're building, kind of curious where it's going. And the other thing, like since the other one was Halloween and Sienna, the main girl, who's like she's a main focal point in this one too. It's like in the second one she was like an avenging angel, and this one she, because it's Christmas time, she's just dressed normal. So, and beautiful actress. I hope she keeps going on. She does very well in this as well. Yeah, like I said, if you like the second one, you will probably like this one, and it's pretty brutal. So be wary of that. So if you're not into that, this might not be the movie for you. But if you like the second one, this is probably the movie for you. It just follows along and gives you more of the lore that they're trying to build on. Like he doesn't just hammer you over the head with it. It's like a slow building thing. Plus, you know why you go to see these movies, just like brutal horror, and it's like, all right, cool, let's see what happens. Let's see a creative kill. Let's see this or that. This one, I believe it delivers, does it really well. I think it's going to do really well. And yeah, if you like this video, like, subscribe, keep checking out my channel. I'm going to be doing more stuff more often. I'm looking into buying a new mic so I don't have such a bad or loud sound and picking up all the excess crap that's going on here. But yeah, thanks for checking this out. Go check out Terrifier 3 if you're into horror movies. If you're not into horror movies, it's not going to be for you. Anyways, peace out.